Hey coaches, so I feel like I am finally officially back and back into the swing of things. As you all know, we were getting married, busy on our honeymoon, and completely checked out. And then whenever we returned that Tuesday, one day after being back, we got some very shocking news that Jason was let go for very crazy reasons from his pediatric dental position. So the last couple of weeks, actually almost a month, have been a roller coaster for us of emotions and just things that don't normally happen to someone. I mean, that's not something that you expect coming back from your honeymoon to be told that the company no longer needs you and you're being released. I didn't quite go like that, but we were done very badly by the company that we trusted. And it goes to show that anytime that you kind of build your success or build a business or whatever you do under someone else's roof, it can be taken away from you very quickly. And I'm very thankful for Beachbody. Jason and I both have checks coming in from coaching. Obviously, it has replaced my full-time income. He would not be close to replacing his pediatric dental income just yet, but it gives me a little bit of a fire under my booty to make sure that I am working my butt off to help our situation. You know, as a lot of you know, starting your own dental practice, which is what it looks like we're going to have to do, is not easy and it's not cheap. And a lot of offices, you're in debt for a couple years before you actually start making a profit. So it has become kind of my new why, to help Jason create a practice that serves our community better, because the company that we were working for obviously did not care about the community, or they would not have done that, especially in the fashion that they did it. It was very wrong on a million different levels, and we're not going to bash the company. But there are some really bad things that happen that we could obviously let out into the public, but we're not going to do that because we're not that type of person. But his patients are already leaving that practice and looking for where he's going to go. So that's where our focus has been if we have been checked out. I've tried to stay checked into the team as much as possible, but if I have not replied to you guys, it's not, trust me, it's not because I don't want to, it's because my mind is seriously like all over the place. If you saw my computer right now, it is filled with dental operatory stuff, trying to help Jason the best that I know how, which isn't a lot coming from a hygiene background. I know how to clean teeth, and that's about it. Everything else is completely new to us. So we're asking for your support to help us during this time, to try to stand behind us when we're trying to respond to things. And, you know, you haven't seen Jason as active in the TNT page, and that's because, you know, to be honest, this hit us really, really hard. And every day has been an up and down. We wake up and it just seems like a nightmare. It really does. It feels like we're replaying everything that happened, because never in a million years did we think this would happen to him. He's one of the most well-respected dentists in the city, in probably at least a 60-mile radius for kids. And he has patients that travel many hours to come and see him. And he was one of the highest paid doctors in the company. And it was just something that you don't see coming, but you have to realize that when a company is a company, they are a company, and they think about money, they think about profits, and they think about how they can make more money instead of how can we treat our patients better. So I'm very thankful that we have Beachbody and a company that actually does put people first. So with all that said, I had a little come to Jesus moment. I realized that the morale of the team has gone down. I think it's mostly because a lot of us leaders have been, you know, busy ourselves, and we're working one-on-one individually a lot more with our coaches. I know with my coaches, I have been working with you guys one-on-one through email. I know a lot of the diamond coaches are doing the same, and through phone conversations. And I think that's amazing. You know, we used to always have group training where we had a whole month of training. We just did that a couple months ago. But what we found is when we're able to work one-on-one with our coaches, we get a lot more out of it, and so do they. I know who I should spend my time on. Those of you who are in my email training, there's some of you I sent the first email to, and to be honest, you haven't even written back to acknowledge you got it. So that tells me I don't need to waste my time on you. Sorry, I'm not trying to be, mean or angry. That's the truth of it. So I know if you aren't even willing to respond to an email that I sent you when I'm taking the time out of my busy, hectic, crazy, emotional roller coaster of 3-week schedule, then I'm not going to spend the time to try to track you or hunt you down and see why you're not responding. I'll send you reminders letting you know, hey, I sent this to you a couple weeks ago and you still haven't started your training, but I'm not going to hunt you down. That's not my job. I don't want to push you or pull you. I want you to come beside me. I'm always willing to go at your guys' pace, but there has to be some sort of pace. And if you're not even creating a pace for me to help you, then I can't help you. And then I have a lot of coaches who just took the training and have already completed it. So that tells me I need to focus on you, and you are a rock star, and you're just as busy or busier than the people who haven't done anything. So that tells me you're serious, you are willing to put in the work, and I'm going to focus on you. And to be honest, I would say that only 20% of you have actually even started and went through the process of the training, at least started it somewhat. And that's how it is. And I want all of you leaders and the people who are signing up coaches, and if you're signing up challengers, there is a 20% rule. I call it the 80-20 rule, really. And everybody knows about it in leadership. There's always going to be 80% of the population who doesn't do anything. Even if they say they're going to, they usually don't end up doing it. It's not our fault. It's not necessarily their fault. It means they're not ready. So if you have challengers who sign up and only 2 of them out of the 10 end up doing anything, that's pretty good. You want to shoot for that 20%. Who are the 20% of people who are actually doing the work and doing what you told them to do to reach their goals? Because we're just trying to help you help yourself, and we're trying to help our challengers reach their goals. We can't do it for them, and that's how it is. You have 10 challengers who sign up. Not all 10 of them are going to do what it takes to reach their goals, and that's the reality. It's not your fault, and you can't take responsibility for that and say, man, my challenge group just sucks because nobody's posting and nobody's doing anything. You gave them the tools. There's no other better tool out there than what they have. And if they don't realize that, then that's their own problem. You will be shocked at the people and challengers who come back later and say, I wasn't ready. I'm ready to start all over again because I know that I didn't put in 110%. And when you ask them those questions, like, have you been drinking your water? Have you been drinking the Shakeology daily? And they complain that they didn't get results. It's usually, no, I didn't. And no, I didn't track my food the way I should have. And yes, I might have eaten out and had alcohol on the weekend. Don't get frustrated about that. Same thing as you're signing up coaches. Only 20% of them will ever do anything. Barbie Decker, one of our mentors and one of the top coaches in the company for years and years and years, she had over, I believe it was 4,000 and something coaches underneath her who have signed up, her personally sponsored coaches. There are only remaining 1,000 active coaches at this time. So that means over 3,000 coaches have canceled their accounts underneath her. That's the reality. People don't always have the same goals that you think they do when they start. Or maybe they got a spark of enthusiasm and then all of a sudden everything's gone because the wind blew differently on that day. So you have to find the people who are willing to put in the work, who are willing to put in the effort, who believe in themselves, who believe in the company, who have a positive attitude, who are going to listen to what their coach tells them to do. And they have that attitude of never giving up. Those are the people who you want to focus on. So if you are stuck pulling and prodding these coaches or people who aren't doing anything or trying to get people and they don't seem to get what you get, then you have to take a step back and say, who are the people putting in the work? Who are the people who are showing up? If you've got nobody, you need to go find some more people, invite more people. Are you being realistic with your goals and your expectations? Are you inviting and talking to at least 3 people a day? You're probably not, because to be honest, I don't do that all the time either. But I have to make up for a lot of lost time because I had a hiatus, and here I am plugging away. I came back from our honeymoon, and I found out that Jason lost his job. That's a huge hit to us, not only financially, but emotionally. Our confidence down. I was trying to be as supportive as possible to him by also, I was trying to pick up my business where I left off, because I left off, you know, at a pretty good point. And while I was gone, I mean, that's pretty much a pause in my business. You know what was really, really awesome is I was able to log in to my Coach Online office, and my paychecks remained the same the whole time we were gone. It was the same today, if not higher. And I was gone for 3 weeks. There is no other business that does this. There's no other business. I don't have to ask for time off anymore. I don't have to worry about going on vacation. I don't have to worry about being here for Jason right now while he's struggling and I'm struggling to accept what happened and move forward and build a practice from scratch. It's not easy. There's no other way to be able to do that. And I can't imagine if I was still working that job, you know, I would have had to quit that day that Jason got let go, because we work for the same company, and there's no way in heck that I would have stayed with the company knowing what they did to him. So everything is a blessing in disguise. You know, I'm glad that it happened because I know that it's supposed to happen, but it's hard and it's tough. So when I found out on that Tuesday that he lost his job, I was at 0 Success Club points, 0 for September, 0. I had at the beginning of the month signed up about 3 coaches under my mom's account. They all purchased challenge packs, but that was not my Success Club. I've been at Success Club 10 for the last 18 months. Do you think that I was going to let it go and just say, you know what, I'm going to let it go? Month 19, let's just start from scratch and I'm going to start all over again. No. I did what I knew I had to do. I started talking to people who I was talking to before I left for my wedding. I started creating more conversations. I started posting more about what I was doing. And it wasn't easy because emotionally I was drained. I was tired. I was exhausted from our honeymoon and wedding. I was writing thank you cards. I was catching back up on just my freaking laundry. And here I was also trying to support Jason and put my head around everything that had happened emotionally. But I did it, and I got Success Club 10. Tuesday I had 0. Friday morning I had 10. How did I do it? I had conversations every single day. Now, because I was totally checked out still last week when all this was going on, I was only online maybe an hour a day. I was not spending a lot of time online because I couldn't. Jason and I were going places trying to figure out what our next steps were. I wanted to be offline because I wanted to be with him during this really hard time. And I had crap to do that didn't have to do with Beachbody, that had to do with finishing up the wedding, paying bills from the wedding, and things that had to be done. So I was completely checked out. So that hour that I was online was so intentional, so focused. I created posts that spoke to the person who I wanted to bring into my challenge group. I gave away the Fixate book. You know what? That cost me $14, but I still got my Success Club points, and I'm helping these people get started on their journey. And I'm still gaining commissions in that, because this is why I decided I wasn't going to lay down and let the month go by and throw in the towel at Success Club 0 and start all over, because I knew that deep down it has nothing to do with these Success Club points and being on a streak. It's a streak of helping people. And I knew that I would not be fulfilled in what I do as a coach if I didn't have at least 5 people starting with a challenge pack and getting results, because I know that only 20% of those 5 people who bought a challenge pack will actually even get results and do the work that they need to reach their goals. So I knew going into it, maybe 1 or 2 people are actually going to even finish this and do what they need to do to reach their goals. But if I stop at 0, that means 0%. 0% of people I would have helped in the month of September. And that felt pretty crappy. So I knew I had to make it happen. I had to get to Success Club 10, and I made it happen. And it wasn't anything magical. I did what I knew I needed to do, which was having more conversations, following up with more people, but more importantly, posting about what I was doing and offering value. I was offering value in my recipes that I was posting, and I was offering value in the workouts that I was posting. It wasn't difficult. It took an hour a day because I didn't have any more time than that. Sorry, I'm getting a little crazy in this video. I'm back, and kind of like when Shaun T says in max 30, but I'm not going to cuss because that might offend some people. But he says, I'm back, bleepies. So that's how I feel. I'm back, and I've got a fire lit underneath me, and I hope that you do too. I'm treating October 1st as the new year. Today, it's a new year, a new me. I just posted about a challenge group that I'm going to do. If you're in my Lean by Halloween challenge, I'm going to let it go all the way through Christmas and the new year. And each month, I'm going to update it. So next month, it's going to be something by Thanksgiving, and then it'll be something by Christmas, so that it keeps people engaged. And I want to keep this group going because it's been really interactive so far. But this last quarter of the year is where people either lay down and give up, and they're like, oh, we've got all these holidays, I don't want to start a health and fitness journey right now. Or they go the opposite way, and they say, I've got to do this before New Year's because I promised myself this year I'd do it. So think about that in your post. Think about how you're posting things. Think about your challenge groups. And if you don't have a challenge group, get in mine. Get in your coaches. Get in the Diamond Upline coaches. You have to be in a challenge group yourself. You have to be working on yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and then the business part of it, the financial part of it will come when you do those things. But if you're not working on all of those things first, you shouldn't even worry about building your business yet. If you're not focused on being the best you and putting in the effort that you need to reach your physical, emotional, and mental goals, then there's no need for you to be focusing on any financial goal with coaching yet. So anyway, guys, I hope that you guys have had an amazing September. Mine had some extreme highs and extreme lows. I think it was probably the most roller coaster of a month that you could ever have. But today is a new year, and Jason and I will be just fine with a little bit of encouragement and help from you guys. And I have no doubt that our team as a whole will finish this year strong. My goals for us as a team at the beginning of the year were we're going to be a top 10 team. It was a hefty, lofty goal, but it's still not out of reach. We are ranked number 107 out of 300,000 teams plus. So we still have a lot of time. We still have a whole 3 months left to hit that goal. And the only way we can hit that goal is if you are helping more people every month and helping yourself. So I hope you guys had an awesome September, and welcome to October. Bye, guys.